I tried to get my background together, but again, I'm sick. I feel horrible. It's also New Year's Eve, the day that I'm recording this. So I'm sick on New Year's Eve. 2024 is starting great. It's starting great. Hello, my name is Liz Ashley and welcome to my channel. All right, so today we are going to be talking about the infamous George Santos.
There's no secrets in this place. It's amazing how you all know what goes on.
Yes. So we are talking about George Santos, and I'm really excited for this video. Even though I'm sick, I love my fair share of internet and pop culture drama. But I'm really into politics. If you do not know who George Santos is, he was a congressman from New York, and he is a Republican conservative congressman. And he just lies about everything.
No, I was not a drag queen in Brazil, guys. I was young and I had fun at a festival.
He lied about, he's lied about his name.
What name should they be looking for?
I would say George DeVolder.
He's lied about lots of things, and we're gonna go into just everything he's lied about. He's come up with lies that don't even benefit him. He's just like a pathological liar. Like, that's just who he is. Arguably one of the most famous congressmen at this point. Let's go over some of the lies that he has said, that he has come up with. When he first started running, he lied about where he went to high school. So again, has nothing to do with anything. Prestigious high school in the Bronx after he immigrated here from Brazil. And then in 2008, his family was on had it hard. And so he ended up not going there anymore. But that was a lie.
I mean, a spokesman for the school told CNN there's no record of you ever attending.
Also lied about where he went to college, which I feel like is an even bigger one. So he said that he graduated with a degree in economics and finance, Baruch College, in 2010.
I did not attain a college education.
Which is also really funny, because another thing that came out of him lying about where he went to college is how he was able to go to that college. And so he was on this podcast or radio station or something, I don't remember, but he was on something, scholarship for volleyball, and that he was this volleyball champion. And that's what I'm saying. Just stupid stuff. Nobody cares if you're in volleyball or whatever. Nobody cares. He just lied and came up with it. And the funniest part is the other person on the podcast or on the radio, wherever he was talking to, the other person went to that college. Actually went to that college. And so he's sitting over here lying, just talking about all this crap. And the other guy actually went there, and it was so funny. It is one of the funny moments of George Santos. He has a lot of funny moments, but I think that's the funniest one, because it's just dude, what? Why would you lie about that? What how is that helping you in any possible way to lie about that? It's so ridiculous. He did not work at Goldman Sachs. So he was on the Capitol, and he ran twice. Again, George Santos ran twice for Congress.
I ran in 2020 for the same exact seat, and I got away with it then.
So there was the second time when he won. The first time, he said that they stole it from him. So he went, when there was the insurrection, he went to the Capitol, and he had a speech. During all the speeches, he had a speech, and during his speech, that's what he said. He said, they stole it from me too. But he was wearing a scarf that his old roommate literally went on television to tell the world. And he stole his scarf. And I just think, I again think it's very funny. It's very funny. So we know him as George Santos, but he used to go as Anthony DeVolder, and he's kind of mashed these up or mixed each of them as he goes. But there are some people who know him as Anthony, there are some people who know him as George. It depends. And the stupidest lie of all time that I think George Santos has ever said is that he was a Broadway producer. He said that he produced the Broadway play Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, which was a total flop, which again is why it doesn't make sense that he was like, oh yeah, I produced that. It's like, that does not make you look cool. That does not make you look good. It actually makes you look worse. Also, I'm wearing a New York hat because I love New York. And I got a New York last year around this time. I just realized I'm talking about George Santos, who's a congressman in New York, and I'm wearing a New York hat. Fun. He also said that he was on Hannah Montana. Out of all the lies that you could tell, like, again, what? Hannah, like, dude, come on. You're running to be a congressman and you're like, I was on Hannah Montana. Like, what is wrong with you? And so this is in his Wikipedia bio. And the person who put this stuff in his Wikipedia bio goes by Anthony DeVolder. So I'm not saying he wrote this, but he said he was on Hannah Montana. He said he was on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And then he also said that he was in a movie called The Invasion starring Uma Thurman, though Uma Thurman has never been in a movie called The Invasion. Now we're going to get into the more the serious stuff that he's done. And so that's kind of what I want to show today is the dichotomy of George Santos, of how some of the things that he does are just so stupid and so funny that you're like, we have to make a joke out of this because it's just so stupid. But then he does some things that are horrible and not okay. It's not funny. And so I find it hard sometimes to figure out where I fit on that spectrum, you know, of is George Santos funny or is he seriously like an issue? So here are some of the more serious things that he's done. So he lied about his family going through the Holocaust. That did not happen. He lied about his mom dying in 9/11. He kept going back on that one. He was like, oh, she died on 9/11. Then, oh, she died from 9/11. People looked into it and she was actually in Brazil at that point. And so she wouldn't have been in America when that happened. And so that didn't happen.
Now, there is no record of your mother ever having worked in the Twin Towers.
That's true.
So this is the big one for me. This is the one that makes me really dislike him a lot. So he came up with this, I guess, charity kind of where he help veterans like help their sick dogs. There was this veteran that had a dog who was dying and needed surgery. And he didn't have enough money at that point because he was homeless. He was a homeless veteran. And he didn't have enough money at that point to pay for his dog surgery. And so I'm gonna cry because this is such an so I guess the vet that he went to knew George Santos and knew about this charity and got him in contact with him. And they started a GoFundMe with all of this money so he could get the surgery. But George Santos played him. He was like, oh, you have to go to this specific vet and you have to do this and you have to go here. Now, mind you, he was homeless. And so he didn't really have a lot of transportation. His dog ended up dying. A homeless vet's dog ended up dying because George Santos scammed him. So, that's the big one. That's my big one. And another thing he said was that an employee from that charity or from that business died in the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. That never happened. And I also don't like that. I don't like that as a gay man, he is using a hate crime to sit here and try to boost himself. Bro, you are a conservative. You are actively going after your own community. And now you want to use a tragedy in your own community to make you look better or something. Now we're going to get into the lies that are causing him legal trouble right now. So now this one, it makes me laugh, even though it's not funny. It's not funny because another one of his conservative Congress members. He stole money from him and his mom. And again, it's not funny, and I can't find the video. I've looked for the video everywhere, but there's a video of this guy going up on the House floor being like, this dude took my money. Like stole my money. Like, I think what they did is this is like, so he had like a credit card scheme, right? And he was taking people's credit card numbers who were donating to him. So donors, he was taking their credit card numbers. And one of the donors was a congressman and his mom. I know for sure he took the mom's credit card number. And again, the mom is innocent in this. She did nothing wrong. Okay. Well, I mean, she was giving to George Santos. So, I mean, that's bad. It's a bad thing to do. It's funny, but it's also not funny. It's really, really bad. The biggest thing, which is not like the biggest thing to me, I don't think, that like got him kicked out of Congress and got him like really in the legal trouble he's in, that he used campaign donor money to get like Botox and travel and an OnlyFans. Which is really funny because there's this video of him getting interviewed on Fox.
True that you have an OnlyFans page and you can peel a banana with your feet.
I don't have one. I just discovered what OnlyFans was about 3 weeks ago when it was brought up in a discussion in my office.
You just can't tell the truth.
And it's hilarious. It's hilarious, especially now because he used campaign donor money. Get it? To subscribe to OnlyFans. I mean, look, I don't think any of these politicians should be using donor money on things like this. I think it's ridiculous. But it's funny now because now he's coming out and he's like blasting his like other people in New York, like other Congress people in New York. He literally started going like, oh, my colleagues did this and my colleagues did that, which is great. Tell all the tea. Please tell all the tea. I want the tea. There's coffee, but. And so all this happened, all these lies happened, all this criminal activity happened. And now he's finally starting to have to face consequences for it. He's become somewhat of a cultural phenomenon, not only because of his lies and the insane amount of lies, but because now he has a cameo. And the amount of politicians that have cameos to me is ridiculous. And so all these people are giving him money. Jimmy Kimmel being one of them. Such a funny notion, but it's also like, why are we giving this man money? Now they're also making a documentary about him. The guy who made the documentary about Firefest is now making a documentary about George Santos. Is it okay to give him money and to interview him and to make a documentary about him and to basically make him famous, which is I think what he really wanted in the first place? But I think he's perfect for American politics. I really do. Like, I think that's what George Santos is. George Santos is like a human caricature of our politicians and how unserious they are. How unserious and corrupt that they are. Well, all right. Thank you so much for watching, even though I'm sick and not feeling well. So if you want to help me feel better, comment and like and subscribe and turn on notifications and all the things. It would mean a lot to me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.